Mr. President, I rise to honor 4 members of Alaska's military family who lost their lives in a tragic airplane accident in Anchorage last week. Major Michael Freiholtz, Major Aaron Malone were pilots assigned to Alaska Air National Guard 249th Airlift Squadron. Captain Jeffrey Hill was a pilot assigned to Elmendorf Air Force Base 517th Airlift Squadron. And Senior Master Sergeant Thomas Sicardo was a loadmaster with Alaska Air National Guard's 249th Airlift Squadron. Last Wednesday evening, these airmen were honing their skills in a C-17 aircraft when it went down in the woods not far from downtown Anchorage. Every Alaskan has been touched by this loss. It is a terrible tragedy for our state, where we consider Alaska's military installations extensions of our communities. Service members are part of our extended Alaska family. Today, in a large Elmendorf airplane hangar, thousands of Alaskans are gathering to mourn the loss of these brave airmen. Each of the airmen who perished on July 28th played a pivotal role in standing up C-17 operations and training in Alaska. They contributed to our nation's defense and in the state of Alaska. Major Malone was a C-17 pilot on leave from Alaska Airlines, his place of employment to help stand up to the 249th Airlift Squadron in Alaska. Alaska was Major Malone's home state. In 2008, he transferred to the Alaska National Guard. As a highly regarded airman, he became a C-17 instructor pilot. He proudly served his country for more than 12 years in the Air National Guard. During his time of service, Major Malone flew the F-16 in defense of our airspace after 9/11, deployed in the Korean Peninsula, and flew missions in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. Major Michael Freiholtz was a member of the Alaska Air National Guard since 2007, when he left active duty. During his time of service, he flew more than 600 hours of combat service in support of Iraqi freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. He was recognized for his distinction as a pilot. He was awarded the Air Medal for his service. Originally from Minnesota, Major Freiholtz was the first non-Alaska pilot to help stand up the 249th Airlift Squadron. A C-17 pilot, obtaining his wings from the Air Force in 2000, and a superior airman, he was most recently flew with the Air Force Thunderbirds. According to his loved ones, Captain Jeffrey Hill cherished being a part of Alaska's 3rd Wing, to which he was assigned in 2007. With his humor and positive attitude, he was an inspiration to his fellow airmen in the 517th Airlift Squadron as the Operation Flight Commander and instructor in the Tactical Airlift Mission. He encourages fellow airmen to stay fit. He was a mentor to his fellow comrades. As a fitness buff and an outdoorsman, Captain Hill took advantage of all Alaska had to offer: hunting, fishing, camping, and hiking. With over 28 years in the armed forces, Senior Master Sergeant Thomas Sicardo was handpicked to be part of the initial personnel to stand up the 249th Airlift Squadron. He was highly decorated combat veteran with more than 30 awards and decorations. His hometown was Anchorage, and he contributed greatly to the state of Alaska with his service. Sergeant Sicardo was a homegrown hero. During the 11 years he spent in search and rescue, he is credited with saving more than 66 lives in Alaska. Helping to stand up the 249th Airlift Squadron, Senior Master Sergeant Sicardo formulated training and evaluation functions in the squadron. Due to his efforts, the squadron received an outstanding rating during the last inspection. Every Alaskan is deeply saddened by the loss of these airmen. They are sons, they are fathers and brothers. Today, I very much wanted to be with the families of these brave Alaskans in person. I'm honored to have my tribute and condolences to them and Alaska's entire military community here on the floor of the United States Senate. I ask my colleagues to join me in a moment of silence in honor of the memories of Major Freiholtz, Major Malone, Captain Hill, and Senior Master Sergeant Sicardo. Let us pay tribute to their selfless service and sacrifice to our nation and to Alaska. Their service to our country and service in Alaska as Arctic warriors will always be remembered. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor, and I note an absence of a quorum.